What's going on, guys? Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. We got the youngsters again, round 2 of 4, which reminds me I have to schedule round 3. Top 20 under 40 real estate agents. The first 5 were fire. The second 5 are fire. We're getting a little bit better with the technological stuff. It's a shit show in here all day, every day. Check it out. Comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. All right, and we are live, and we are making it happen on the mobile version. Can I get this rocking? Yes, I'm gonna get this rocking. This works. All right. Yeah. Charles Weinraub AKA the Handsome Homebuyer. We are here with the rebranded Smells Like Cat Pee with Handsome podcast, and we are on episode number 2 of 4 of speaking to Long Island's young and successful. And what by that I mean the top 20 under 40. Last week's episode actually drops today. I spoke to the first 5 of the 20. It was great, little technical difficulties, but I think you can teach an old dog, aka myself, new tricks. So we're going for gold on number 2. I'm using the mobile, and I have total confidence it's going to work. So let's jump right into it with
hello.
Bam! All right, I'm impressing even myself today. How are you?
Good. How are you?
What's going on? What's going on? So I know your brother, obviously.
Yes, everyone does.
Your brother, the great. Every investor probably knows Nick Ramondi from Insula Capital. He's out there helping investors all over Long Island and beyond fund their fix and flip projects. Hopefully, there'll be more of them in the upcoming years. But you have been making some serious waves in the last couple of years. I first heard of you. Actually, he was bragging to me about you. That's how I heard about you. I had no idea.
I'm surprised to hear that.
You didn't know that? You didn't know that he brags about you?
No, he usually never wants anyone to know we're related or anything.
No, that's not true, is it?
Not a little bit.
So wait, you're younger than he is, though, right?
Yes, everyone always thinks I'm older. I'm younger.
No, you're definitely the younger one. So I was talking to him once. He was talking about like, oh, could I fund your deals, like basic business stuff. He's like, oh, have you seen my sister? Do you know my sister? And he started off saying that, and I don't know how true this is, and I'd love to talk to you about this, is that you flip houses as well. Yes,
I did a few last year. Trying to get a few under my belt this year, but it's tough to get off-market deals.
It's very tough, and we'll get into that for a second. But and I'd love to get your feedback on this because a lot of agents, want to flip houses, but it's hard. It's not easy just because of a time management thing. And then I see you selling real estate, like deal after deal after deal coming up, just end user real estate, and then you're the top 20 under 40, and I'm like, Jesus.
Yes. I mean, obviously, I love the investing side of real estate. I really enjoy that, finding those off-market deals. It's crazy to see how you can literally transform a house, get a new family in there. But I also love the aspect of just helping people buy and being able to start their life and, invest in their future through real estate also. So it's nice to be able to handle all aspects of it. Oh, screen went black.
I'm there. When you got into real estate, do it.
Oh, you cut out there for a second. What'd you say?
When you got into real estate, did you come in because you wanted to be an investor, or you came in because you were doing sales? What was it?
So I got my license when I was still in college. I was kind of young, probably 19 when I got it. Obviously, I got it because Nick was telling me, just, get your license. It's good to always have it. So honestly, at that point, I was just bartending. I didn't think I'd be to the point in a few years that I'd be able to buy my own house, cash, and renovate it and flip it. So no, nice. I thought I was just going to be on the agent side, really helping buyers. Even, my first listing, I got helping a seller. I was like, whoa, how'd that just happen?
So talk to me about, you got into real estate just right out of college, 21, 22, you're in.
While I was still in
real
college.
Estate?
I got it while I was in college on one of the winter breaks. I did the class 1 week every day, 9 to 5, and then got it.
So talk to me about, and agents out there, about the experience, because a lot of agents come to me and they're like, Charles, I want to do what you do. I want to flip houses. And I always say, listen, like I flip houses to buy rentals. And it's funny because Brian Karp and I walk like these similar paths in the sense that, you know, I'll flip 100 houses to buy rentals and he'll sell 200 houses a year to buy rentals. So you just need to make money to buy rentals. What I think a lot of agents don't realize is how time consuming and how much work it is flipping houses and then managing your sales business. So I'm curious to know how you deal with that.
Yeah. Well, and also just to touch, I also own a rental house too. And that is also, you know, I suggest that everyone tries to get into that, although that is extremely stressful right now. You know, obviously with all the eviction laws and everything.
Section 8.
I know, I want to get into that. So hopefully soon, in the next few months. But you know, it's tough. It's really all about time management. And honestly, you have to, in this career, if you want to be successful, I think you have to be addicted to it. I really, truly, I think in the past 2 years, especially, I go sleep thinking about real estate. I wake up thinking about real estate. You know, you have to have that mindset going into it.
So what's, like we said, obviously you do rentals, which is a new thing I didn't know about. You do flips and you do sales. What's your real passion? Do you just like real estate in all aspects and you like playing the game and you want to do it all?
I love it. I didn't think I'd be able to find something. You know, I was in college to do dental hygiene. I hate, you know, I get very grossed out. Yeah, I want to help people. I don't want to touch people or anything. So I think real estate is my perfect happy medium. Honestly, I love the fact that you get to help people. You get to change people's lives really, and all while making a great living for yourself.
So I'm curious to know, from the moment you decided that you want to flip houses to when you actually started flipping a house, like what was the educational process for you? Did you work with a mentor? Like what happened?
Really, honestly, I have a lot of connections. I'm friends with a lot of attorneys, some state attorneys, obviously, which are awesome to go through. And basically, it just came to me to list the house, and I went into it, and it was just awful. It was terrible. You walk in the house, you know, when you walk into the house, it's just absolutely disgusting. God forbid, I feel bad for people who are living like that. But you know, I said, hey, well, what are they looking for this? I can give you this much. And I kind of obviously Nick, like, hey, what do you think? Think this is a good deal? He's like, listen, if you have the money for it, yes, I think it's a good deal. I'll give my contractor. And then it kind of just fire. You know, I have Nick there if I need to ask questions, but I go with the phone and learn it on my own. That's a kind of, I'm not like I like to do everything alone. I'm not like the team or anything, which nothing against the teams, but I play everything at my own pace, on my own, and that's working out for me. So
you just, you know, you had connections just from being in the industry, but you basically just kind of like just took a risk and jumped.
Yeah, luckily stayed up all that work and stayed up the commission, you know, had enough to buy the house, renovated, and obviously from there you just go and you just have enough cash, keep going and going and going.
Yeah. I mean, listen, that's what I say to people all the time. Like, you need a certain amount of preparation, but the people that have the guts to do it, it's like 75% guts and 25%, you know, preparation. But when the two meet together, it's magical. With that said, I apologize. We got to run. I got the next person, but I wanted to congratulate you. I've been watching you. I've been watching you through the internet. You're doing great things, and I look forward to seeing you continue to grow. And hopefully, we'll get to do a deal together in some capacity in the future.
Soon.
I appreciate you. Take care. All right, let's keep this party going. Hopefully, with less technical difficulties this time. Who do we got? Who's up next? Who do we got? Amanda Lowe is in.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you? How's the reception on your end?
I think it's okay. I think I can hear you.
So I'm 41, so I'm kind of like on the cusp of being tech savvy. Like if I was 39, I think I would be good. Anything over that, so I'm flirting with it back and forth, but hopefully this
I
works.
always think I think I'm tech savvy until my kids show me something and I'm like, oh man, I really
Of course. I need them to show me how to master TikTok. It's literally the most unnerving thing that I'm dealing with right now.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I'm trying so hard. It's like one video gets 10 views, then I get 300,000 views, then I get 10 views for the next like 6 months.
Oh wow. I haven't figured that out myself.
So it's very nice to meet you. Congratulations on all your success. Top 20 under 40
you.
is very exciting.
Yes, thank you. And thanks for having me today. This is great.
I haven't had the privilege of meeting you. So that's why it's great that, these type of awards come out and it gives people exposure and allows us to connect. So,
yeah.
I guess 60 to 90 second overview on you, how long you've been in business, who you're with, and how you got into real estate ultimately, if you don't mind.
Sure. I started in real estate in 2012. I've been doing it for around 9 years now. I was a full-time operations manager. So I started in the business just doing it slowly, working with friends, family. And then about 4 or 5 years ago, I just decided I wanted to do this full-time. So I jumped right in and I'm with Signature. We were originally Coldwell Banker and we moved over to Signature a couple of years ago. It's a great company. And since around 2016, 17, I've just been all in. I'm really enjoying it, loving it, and obviously having some success with it and hope for some more.
Nice. So you've been in for a minute. You've been in for, about 9 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
How, you got in post-crash, similar to me.
Yeah.
So what's the ride been like from a market standpoint? Like you and I have been very lucky. I've been doing this 6.5 years. We've pretty much only seen good markets. Like we haven't really experienced when COVID hit, it just everything went through the roof. But now we're dealing with a whole host of different issues. Do you tend to list more? Do you tend to work more with buyers, or do you have more of like a mix of business?
So in previous years, I definitely worked more with buyers. And then in the last couple, like right when COVID happened, I got a lot of listings and I was very grateful. But this year I have more buyers again. And I feel like that is definitely a struggle because there's so little inventory for them. And you really have to be on top of your game to get them the houses that they want.
So, and I hear a lot of agents saying the same things. And there are some agents that I speak to that are doing very, very well, miraculously. I don't know how they're doing, getting their clients' offers accepted, even in this market.
Right.
Do you have any tips for struggling agents out there on how they can get their clients' offers accepted? Are there certain things that you do or don't do in that process?
I feel like you just have to stay on top of what's out there. Maybe even look at what things that if you lost something, what did it actually go for? What are things, when you see them close out, what did they go for? What were they listed for? Because if you see how the market is trending and that things are 50,000 above or 30,000 above, it gives you a good idea of how to educate your clients. And if you're in it part-time, it's hard because you're not always engaged and not knowing what's happening in the market. So as much as you can be in it, investigate it, stay with it, be with your clients, that really helps to get them the offers that will get them the house.
So how do you build that rapport with your clients? Because just think about it from, obviously we do this every day, so we get it. Like saying, oh, something's selling for 100 grand over S, it's just like that's what happens. But if you have a first-time home buyer who's never bought a house before and they're working with you and you say to them, hey, listen, you're going to have to go, you know how you're trying to get it for less than what is listed for? Well, you're going to have to go 50,000 over and we might get blown out. How do you prepare them for that?
That's definitely tough. I mean, luckily, a lot of people seem to by now know a little bit about what's going on, but you do have those people who say like, oh, my parents or so-and-so in their family thinks they could underbid, or, they get some weird advice, and you really have to just educate them as much as you can. And then if they decide that they want to try a certain number, at some point you have to let them do that. And then if they lose out on this house, usually by then they're like, okay, now we understand this is what we have to do. And then they kind of roll it. Because I never want to pressure anybody, especially first-time buyers, because they get stressed. And they're my favorite. I love first-time buyers. So I like to just try to ease the process for them. And if they have to lose one to get there, then, at least they're doing it on their own terms.
Yeah. So I guess you just have to know that there's a process, and you can't, as much as us as salespeople, we've been through it so many times. We're like, let's just get to it. You have to kind of let your client, and the same thing with me on the buying side. When I'm buying an off-market property, sometimes I'm like, we're going to end up back here, but I have to let them kind of go through that process. So I want to talk about two more things when we have time. So one of them is going to be, your prospecting and deal flow, which is what agents are always like, marketing. How do I get listings? How do I get buyers? And then the second would be time management, because you're obviously operating on the highest level, and you're a mother. Like, I'm losing my mind, not married, no kids, like, everything behind you looks meticulously clean. You would hate to see my apartment right now. It looks like a bomb went off. So I guess let's start there. How do you go about managing your time with everything you have going on?
I do a lot at night. I'll be honest with you. I do a lot of my paperwork and my sourcing and everything in the evenings because it's quiet. But my kids are back to school, so that helps too. But I just make lists, keep everybody, make sure you have touch points, talking to our clients every single day. It's important. But it's tough. It's tough to manage all the time and to get everything done. But as long as you keep making sure you check in with your clients, you'll never fall behind, I think.
So talk to me a little bit about, deal flow, prospecting, things like that. I mean, you've been in the business for 9 years. So obviously at this point, you have a reputation. I'm sure you're getting referral business based on, past clients and whatnot. But, what are you actively doing to generate business?
I took the Buffini class a couple of years ago, and I do a lot of the Popeyes and staying with my past clients because I feel like those are the key to getting more business. My referrals are, a lot of my clients actually turn into friends, and that is great because it really helps generate future business for me. I'm also a big volunteer person, and because I have kids, it's easy to do that. So I join a lot of boards and committees, and gyms, things like that, like where you can create those relationships where all of a sudden you get 3 clients from your CrossFit gym, or you get 5 clients from your kid's school, and those people are in your community too. So it just keeps growing from there. So you just have to use the things that are in your life right now. Like small kids, and yes, they make me busy, but they also kind of bring me business too. So it's good.
That's a good trade-off. Yeah, I mean, now I'm really starting to do a tremendous amount of like advertising and things like that. But for the first 4.5, 5 years of my career, it was all word of mouth, like network-based type of relationships. And people always ask me like, oh, mailers, you do this, you do that, you do door knocking. But to your point, I think that's the best. You build a relationship, and if you cultivate that relationship, it literally pays forever because those people are running around just singing your praises.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
So that's great. Listen, I want to congratulate you. Thank you. It was a pleasure to finally meet you and speak to you. Hopefully I'll be able to see you in person, and hopefully we'll be able to do a deal one of these days.
That sounds great. Looking forward to it.
Congratulations. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Yo!
What's up, brother?
Let's keep this party going, man. Here we go. What's up?
I'm with the rock star, so party has to keep going. What's up, man? Thanks for having me.
I love it, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I've been watching you from a distance through social media. I love how busy you are. I love how you're mixing both the investing and the sales side. I love how you're so passionate about helping your clients, helping the community, and creating beautiful projects. So I'm pumped up to chop it up and talk about it.
Thank you very much. And coming from you, it's a big honor. Of course, I'm trying to follow your footsteps. And I clearly remember when I met you very first time. I don't know if you remember it, like when you started and I was new in the business at the tech fair in Crest Hollow.
Oh yeah,
you had your booth there, and I was like, okay. And I actually used you guys right after that for a swimming pool. So small world.
I was there slinging candy, trying to get the Captain Permit word out. So tell me a little bit about, give me like the 60-second high level overview of, your career, what you do, how long you've been in the business for, because we really haven't had the pleasure of diving into that, you and I.
Sure. So been in the business almost 5 years. Started in October of 2016. My family was in construction, so I was helping them in that, and I felt the need of why not try to be in the buying and selling. Uh, my first year, I was watching some of my friends here. A lot of us struggle with any new business, but my actually first year was pretty good because most of my business came from referral, and I was in a boutique brokerage. It was one man show, and I got to learn. He was in business for over 26 years, and he was also an
Wow.
investor. So I learned a lot of stuff from him in my first 3 years, in where I could have spent many days and weeks just following him, shadowing him. So that helped a lot. And most of my business is referral based from community, from Brooklyn, Queens, buyers. Long Island is bombarding with Brooklyn and Queens buyers, and that's how it is.
So are you, I know you say referral based, but you haven't really been in the business that long. To have such an intense referral base of people, how did you do that in such a short period of time?
Great question, actually. I have a big family. In my family, like close and distant, we have about over 200 people. And then imagine
Jesus!
all of them. This is my first cousin, second cousin, and then of course from community, everybody found out, within the first few months that I got into business, and then of course, people like to help.
So basically, the key to success in real estate is if you're not born into a big family, get adopted into a big family. Because if you have 200 people sending you referrals at all times, it's kind of a bad way to start off any business.
And out of those 200 people, someone is going to buy or sell, no matter what. So the only thing you have to do is just be in front of them and tell them that you are in real estate. You have to show it that you are in real estate and you are there for them all time.
So talk to me about, since you're working the migration, right? Like you were here prior to COVID where the boroughs were bananas and the prices just didn't even make sense. And then COVID hit and then the world stopped. And I remember my dad walked into my office and he's like, buy everything. Everyone's about to leave the city. But at that point, nobody knew what was going to go on. And he ended up being right. And you've been able to take advantage of the migration of people leaving the boroughs and coming to Long Island.
And yes, and that was one of the reasons I had my best year ever since I started doing real estate. 2020 was the best. And following up with 2021, it's going even crazier because what happened because of pandemic. People from Brooklyn, Queens, they just want more space and a bigger yard. They don't mind paying more, more for what they're getting. And we know these houses, everything is selling 50, 40, 70,000 over asking. And with the migration, it's also like the closing I'm having in Deer Park today. Their family bought a house in West Babylon last year. So now these people are motivating the other people who are living in the boroughs that what are you doing there? We don't mind doing the commute. And at the end of the day, living in Brooklyn, Queens and living on the Long Island is a big difference. It's a life-changing thing.
See, that's interesting. I hadn't thought about that before. I thought people they would leave because they were tired of the city, but I guess you don't know what you don't know, right? So if all of a sudden you have family members that are moving to Long Island, they're like, yo, stop, there's no reason to spend $1.2 million, to live in a little box with no yard. You can come out to Long Island. Sure, the taxes are high, but the houses are half the price. And, you have a big, beautiful open yard, and it's a very different lifestyle.
And people don't mind paying their money, the only thing which most people, think about like before making the move is the commute. But after the pandemic, most of the stuff, and especially a lot of the people are working from home. So they don't mind going and competing against other people, and they just want a property.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. So, last thing I wanna actually discuss with you before we go is, again, a lot of agents always come to me and they say they want to flip houses. I always say, listen, what's your ultimate goal? Because if your ultimate goal is to make money for retirement or buy rentals or whatever, you can sell a ton of houses, generate money, and then buy rental properties. fixing and flipping or building houses is a very, very time-consuming, difficult thing to manage. I lose my mind with my staff on a daily basis. I'm curious to know how you manage your projects while prospecting, building relationships, and doing everything else.
So I'm pretty sure you dealt with the same thing in the beginning. The first 2 years were very hard, and finding the right people, especially the contractors, it's never easy, and there is always someone dragging your deal or pulling your leg. But in the past 2 years, I have the right team, and thank goodness, this is my number 7. I don't know if you saw on the social media of this year. So
nice. That's awesome.
It's getting better. Is it easy? No, it looks easy. You know, you're showing videos, people doing stuff. It looks easy. It looks, but when you're into it, there's so much sweat and blood. So I would say either you do flipping or buying and selling. You cannot focus on both. You can, but if you want to, your priority has to be one, because flipping is like a full-time job. So is working with buyers and sellers.
Yeah, I mean, real estate's an amazing business. It can be as big or as little as you want, but it's not easy. But if you love it and you give it everything you got, it pays dividends and it works, and you can be very successful, and you can have the life that you want, which is very cool. With that, I wanted to congratulate you. It's a great pleasure to connect with you. I hope we get to do a deal together in some capacity in the future, and we get to see each other again, because 4 years or however long it's been since the tech fair is too long, my friend.
Definitely, and thank you so much for having me.
All the best. Congratulations on your closing.
Thank you, sir. Take care.
All right, let's keep this party going. What we got next? And we're back.
What's up, Handsome?
What's up, man? Good to see you in the car, running and gunning.
Running, gunning, out of the gym, trying to change. I had to pull onto a dead-end street in Belmore just to get this in, so it's always good. But, I had to show you some love. I had to get on there.
I appreciate the love. Thank you very much. And I think it's interesting to see. I'm going to... the top 20 under 40, most of the people that we're talking to right here, they're either in the office, they're out, they're in closings, they're in cars, like they're making it happen. You guys are busy, working, hustling, which is, I think, the premise, the reason why you guys are as successful as you are.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, you have to be kind of insane motivated, and what hard work might seem to somebody, they might call you insane, but as long as you're obsessed and you like doing what you like to do, you're going to enjoy it, and it's going to produce results. So that's the big thing.
So you and I don't know each other very well. I was turned on to you through the top 20 under 40. So I want you to give everybody like 60-second, and myself included, overview of who you are, what you do, how long you've been in the business for. Can you dance salsa?
Well, the last name's Enriquez, so I hope I could dance a little salsa, so it's in the bloodline. What? I've been in real estate for 6 years. I got started, full disclosure, I'm a full-time school teacher, so I'm in the gym. I'm a phys ed teacher. Wow. And I started, and my first deal was with a buddy of mine. He was a history teacher. They fired a realtor that was just unresponsive. My license was there. Any type of party, I'm out of the bar. I'm like, hey, you want to buy or sell? And everyone's like, no, thanks. So they took a shot. Long story short, 6 years later, I'm at Exit Family Realty. I have 8 team members total. I do a lot of work before school day starts, after school's, done.
Wow.
I get a lot of stuff going. I took my broker's license this past year, so I'm an associate broker now at Exit. So I have about, like I said, I have 8 team members, and it's nonstop. So in the middle of class, I built a nice big team. So agents are asking me, what do I do if the lockbox isn't working or whatever. So I'm putting out fires all day, but I put a really good team together. I use Lee Friedman all the time. He's like my go-to attorney over there. He's the man. And, I have Steve Valente at Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, and, Bill Bang at Bethpage Federal Credit Union. So those are like my 3, that's like my central hub. And I use everybody that's around me, and I refer them to put out a good product because they're very good at what they do. And it's a reflection of me. And, I put good people in the hands of other good people. And, it projects. So it started with just using teachers in my building, and then it started with actually COVID exploded the business because, I'm sitting there, I'm teaching remote. No one's really expecting much from a remote gym teacher. So I'm like, everyone's scrolling on Instagram, everyone's scrolling on Instagram on their couch, watching Netflix after Netflix. So I'm like, how am I going to stand out? So if I'm showing a house, if I have a closing, I'm literally photoshopping myself on chimneys in the middle of windows just so I could stick out. So it's the same pose with my arms crossed somewhere on the house. So people are like, who is this crazy guy? So then people I haven't spoke to since high school, like, hey, my brother's looking to sell. My mom's looking to sell. My brother's looking to buy. And COVID exploded. And then I kind of took it. I'm like, all right, wow, that's working. And I literally just started throwing stuff at the wall until it stuck, like Google ads or I was using Facebook ads, or I was boosting ads that was trending. I was on Google My Business. I was anything that possible that I could try to. The next up, I got to get crazy like you and start a YouTube channel and just start, hiring a videographer and travel 16 hours a day with me. But you just kind of find your own niche and see what works. And then you kind of just, and it's just like that law of attraction. People are going to see what you're doing and be like, how are you handling all this that you're doing? And then they're going to try to get their feet wet in the business. And then you try to help them. I guess that's like the teacher in me. And, and it evolves. And then you watch other people grow and, and then it's beneficial for you as well because you're getting residuals from everybody, but you're watching everybody grow at the same time.
So you sort of breezed over this, but I think it's really important to come back because there's 30,000 agents on Long Island. There's 48,000 agents in the MLS system right now, as far as I'm aware. And half of them don't do a deal all year. You are a full-time teacher. You've built a team of 8 people. You just won top 20 under 40. Are you married with kids or no?
No, not married with kids. It'll probably
that
be in the near future, but yeah. But
that makes it a hair easier, but still.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I get it, it's at that point, but it's almost at that thing where you always, for me, it was like I was getting told no so many times, and I'm watching these guys and I'm seeing who they're using as agents, and I'm like, there's zero difference between myself and them. It's just building that relationship and that trust and being more knowledgeable. And I saw people were seeking out people that were doing heavy volume, but then those people were kind of shunning people away. And I was just kind of seeing what everybody was doing. Like I think my second deal ever was with Brian Karp, and I'm like, this guy's face is everywhere. And I would just text him and be like, hey, what are you doing? Or I would just see somebody that would be their face all over the place. And I'm like, hey, what are you doing to generate business? So I wouldn't really care if they didn't know me from a hole in the wall. Just like I DM'd you and I'm like, yo, bro, I want to be on your podcast like a lead agent. Like, I don't care. I never met you, but I want to be on there and salsa dance in the middle of the street. It'll happen. So, that's the thing is like, don't be afraid to ask people. That's like my biggest word of advice, and just keep going and keep grinding through it because it'll happen. You just got to put that law of attraction out there.
Nah, that's true, man. How old are you now?
34.
Damn, you are young. Good for you, man. That's freaking great. So you're going to be running this parallel track until retirement. You're doing the full-time teaching thing. You're going to continue to build your team. What's the future looking like for you?
So, I mean, ideally, I take it one day at a time. Over COVID, I bought my first investment property. It cash flows. I got a decent deal. It was an estate sale. It got passed down to kids that had no idea what they had. Lee Friedman helped me out with that transaction. Cash flows every month. First of the month, it's great. Right now I'm always looking for that next deal. So ideally, if I can get enough rental income to surpass like the Grant Cardone rule and the passive income exceeds my teacher salary, then I'll jump into probably real estate as an agent full time and then really, really crush it. So I guess that's like my motivation to get more deals, get more rentals to increase the passive income. And then, sky's the limit. So that's pretty much the goal.
I love it, man. Listen, it was great to connect with you in person. Congratulations on top 20 under 40. Keep doing your thing. I'm reminiscing about field day and dodgeball right now and what it was like when I had hair. So thank you for bringing that back. Thank you for bringing me back to that point.
Anytime, we'll invite you back. We'll play some dodgeball. It's fine.
There you go, brother. Thank you again. Congratulations. It was a pleasure.
No problem.
And I hope to see you and hopefully do a deal soon.
Absolutely.
You got it.
Hello, hello.
All right. Let's close this down with the man. What's up?
How's it going?
Yo, great to meet you, man. Congratulations. Top 20 under 40. Very, very cool. You should be excited. It's a big deal.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Nice. So, like everybody else, again, in this situation, we've never met. I'm grateful to have met you now, but I would love to get the 60-second overview of who you are, where you work, where you came from, and what you do in real estate.
Definitely. So it's great to follow Jonathan, who just went. So I'm actually a special ed teacher as well. So I got into real estate. Basically, I'm not sure if you're familiar with John Walsh with Galaxy. You may know the name,
yes.
But John helped me buy my house, and this was about 4 years ago. And then about 2 years ago, I started sending him referral after referral after referral. And he kind of was like, hey, you like doing this. Why don't you go for your license? Thought about it. I was like, you know what? Why not? Took the class online. And I was like, oh, if I do 3 deals a year, at least I won't have to do my summer school gig anymore, and I can go for real estate.
Yeah.
And then, boom, like it went from 3 a year to over 30, and it just took off.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm doing both full time still. Just had a second baby, so I'm like fully into it.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy times. So I'm doing both full time. If something happens bright and early and I'm at school, John kind of takes it, and then on the weekend, he's got the thing with his kids, so I'll do some of his stuff. So we definitely bounce off each other there. But yeah, I got into it. My first deal, I won't forget. I won't get full deep, but remember, I brought a friend to a house, put an offer in. First day in real estate, gets accepted. I'm like, this is so easy. And then all of a sudden, 2 days later, COVID came. Everything got shut down. Credit scores changed, and we had to go back to deal with that. And then all of a sudden, seller's concession was needed, and I was like, wait, I got an accepted offer. When's the paycheck coming? Like, I did everything you could do in my first deal. Like, hit me, and every curveball came, and as soon as it was done, I was like, if I can do that, I can do this. And then I kind of just went for it.
Good for you, man. Listen, I mean, I don't know how you guys are doing it, especially you, like a wife, 2 kids, full-time at school. So, I mean, my biggest thing is, like, if you're an agent out there and you're complaining that you're not doing enough deals or you're trying to blame whatever, look in the mirror. This man is sitting there doing 30-plus deals a year, top 20 under 40, 2 kids, a newborn, a wife, and a full-time teaching gig.
That's why you see these bags under my eyes. Well, not a lot of sleep, but you got to do it. It's you get out there, and I had the networking of the school, so I have a few teachers that use me to buy, and then I reached out to all the people in my town. I said, hey, I'm getting my real estate license, and at first it was a little difficult because they saw me as a teacher. So what I wanted to start doing is, like, you got to see me as a realtor too. And I used a lot of stuff. I was like, hey, and I even said, I was like, hey, parents trust me with their kids, especially special ed kids that you need more. If they can trust me.
Parents trust me.
You got to go do it. And it's just being honest and being yourself. And I was like, hey, if they trust me, I've known you long enough, trust me, give me a chance. And what I realized I had to do, I wasn't even on Instagram when I started real estate. I was just doing Facebook. And I was like, all right, I need to show people that I'm out there. I started recording every showing I was doing, every closing I was posting something. And within of doing that, more people started reaching out, like, hey, I see you're in real estate. I'm like, well, I told you a month ago, and I guess you didn't respond because you didn't think it was real, but I just keep posting things. Not as good as you. I see your videos all the time. I don't put my face in front of the camera as much, but I want to get to that point with the Instagram and stuff. I'm kind of just showing that I'm out there, and it's been working, knock on wood. Hopefully it continues.
No, it's super important. I mean, interesting you bring up just you're a new agent and you're documenting the process. Like I tell agents all the time, I'm like, listen, you just have to be in front of people so that when they need you, you're there. Because otherwise, if you're in front of people and then you're not in front of them when they need you, they're going to go with somebody else. So just the concept of documenting a new journey of transitioning or living those 2 lives, that's a big deal. It gets you exposure. How let's talk about like prospecting, because agents are always like, how do I get more deals? How do I get more deals? How do I get more deals? How important has your network with the teachers been? Is that where the bulk of your business comes from? Or did that give you the shot in the arm and then you branched out from there?
I would say it was 50-50, but it definitely got me going because it was a coworker / friend that I had my first deal with, who then reached out to her friends and stuff, and I got another deal. And then that person bought. And before I even started networking, I had 3 people right there that were buying, selling. And one happened to be a small time little investor that kind of hooked me up with a couple more deals. I post things on Instagram all the time that I'm out working in the real estate field. I reach out to friends, family. I let them know. And then I just kind of be myself when I go out on open house and stuff. If anybody comes to one of our open houses and doesn't have an agent, I make sure that I speak to them, make sure that I stay in their ear, and next day follow up with them again. Like, hey, maybe this house wasn't for you, but what about the next one? It was great talking to you. Just be yourself. One thing I realized really quickly, and I kind of was going through the process when I was buying a house, is there's a lot of agents out there, and I don't want to badmouth anybody, but every house you go into is the dream house. And we were doing it. My wife and I were looking for a house, and we went to like 3 different agents. They're like, oh, this is the house for you. I could see this and this. I'm like, you met me 10 minutes ago. You don't know what my dream house is. Not every house is my dream house. So if I have to show somebody 5 or 6 houses before they find the right one, like, I'm fine with that. And because I do have the backup teaching job and teaching salary, I feel like I don't pressure everybody as much into getting that first house like some agents do. And I talk to more and more, show more houses, and tell them I'm going to be there for the long haul. And then eventually, if someone's looking at 5, 6 houses, they're eventually going to get one. It's definitely worth the wait. And then those people just talk to other people. And I'm at the point now where I'm finally getting, and it's only been a little bit over a year. I'm only about 15 months into this.
Wow.
Clients who I've had referring me to other people. So yeah, I kid you not, my first deal was about 3 weeks before COVID hit and everything got shut down. I was like, oh, what am I doing now? But past clients are reaching back out to me saying, hey, my friend's looking. Did I lose you?
Nope, I'm here.
So that has definitely helped me, seeing past clients definitely reaching out to their friends and family, sending them my way as well.
Whoop, hit the cam button. Keep going. Keep it moving. Keep it moving.
Yeah, so definitely just being myself, having past clients reach out to their friends and family and put stuff on social media and trying to meet as many people as I can at open houses and keep spreading the word that I'm doing real estate and I'm doing well and I want it to continue.
So what is your, what is the goal? Is the goal, I was talking to John before, being that you guys kind of live parallel lives, he's trying to generate passive income to replace his teaching salary and then go full-time with real estate. What's your plan as a go forward?
It's too new to say that I would ever give up teaching. I love what I do there. I'm not going to lie. So I really think I will continue both and try to do both full-time as long as I can. I'm 34, so I feel like I'm young enough and energetic enough to keep it going. And like I said, John does a lot of my stuff during the morning times if I ever needed it. Most of my real estate I fill up the nights with and the weekends. And goal is to just continue every year. The goal the first year was 3 houses. I kid you not. I was like, that'll keep my summer school job away. And then once I did like 25, 30, I was like, I want to do more next year. I want to do it. And I keep just upping my goals, write them down, and try to take off of that. So the goal, I guess, is to continue doing what I'm doing and hopefully it lasts and just expand the business and get into it. If I can buy a property myself to rent or something like that, that would be the ultimate goal. Just not quite there yet, but that would be a great to have.
So last question I have, because I talk to a lot of agents who are, maybe they're doing 6 deals a year, 8 deals a year, 12 deals a year, and they have this constant kind of anxiety of where's my next deal coming from? So like they have a deal, like great, I got in the contract, they're like, crap, now where's the next one? Where's the next one? What do you say to agents who, stress over their next deal or are kind of like stuck trying to get a good solid flow of deals?
Yeah, so it's tough, especially if you get one under contract and then you're like, all right, awesome. And then you're like, oh, wait, now I have an appraisal. Now I have 45 days for it closes. Like, what am I doing in that time? I always try to get, I work in threes, I call it. I try to get 3 on the contract, 3 new buyers. 3 new sellers would be amazing. Obviously, that's harder. And I always try to keep it in threes and keep it going. So I don't have 20 buyers at once. I can't give them all my attention. I try to get 3 at a time and keep it going and building. And if I get to the point where I'm at none, I've gone door walking with John. I've gotten in contact. We do, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Michael Anthony Designs. So he does a lot of new constructions and luxury ones. And he's building 4 beautiful, like $2.1 million homes at Meadow Farm Estates in East Islip. So I met him. I started talking to him and told him what I was doing, whatever. And he's like, hey, you're ever going to low time, bring me properties. I buy land, kind of similar. And he like does things like that. So I'm always looking for the next way to get clients and get new things. I did a lot of for sale by owners, just driving around with the family. You have 2 kids, you're in the car a lot. If I ever see one, I take down the number, I call them. And I got probably 20 calls to for sale by owners before someone even responded to me. And I was like, what am I doing? And once they responded to me, I was like, all right, I can do this. I talked to them, and I got one of those for sale by owners flipped, and we sold the house for about $60K more than they were trying to do on their own. And I was like, you know what, I can do this. So if I ever get to a point where my buyers are not about sellers, I dig into that for sale by owners. I think there's a lot of networking out there that you can kind of take over with that if you just put in the time. And if 20 say no and the 21st says yes, and you make $4,000, let's say, like, how is that not worth 20 phone calls or something like that, or 20 people hanging up on you? It's well worth it. You just got to go out there and go for it, and be okay with denial, be okay with told no, be okay with, hey, I'm not interested, hey, don't call me. But sooner or later, someone's going to pick up the phone, and they do. Give your best speech and see if you can do it.
Perfect. Nah, listen, I appreciate it, man. Congratulations. It was great to connect with you. Top 20 under 40. It's a really big honor, and I'm looking forward to seeing you grow in the future. And hopefully, if you see some of that land or Captain spelling houses out there, you'll think of the kid.
I definitely appreciate it. Thank you for having me, man.
You got it, brother. Have a great one. Best of luck. Congratulations. All right, that wraps up. We are halfway through episode 2 in the books of the top 20 under 40. 10 down, 10 to go. A lot of great information. We're starting to see a lot of patterns here from people. I mean, listen, if you're a realtor out there and you're looking to up your business, it's very simple. You have to attack it with relentless, just go, 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 go all the time. You got to be bold. You got to be out there on social media. You got to be networking. You got to be building relationships. You got to be following up with just insanity. And that's how it happens. There's no excuses. As you can see, you have some people there that have full-time jobs that are still doing 20, 30, 40, 50 deals a year. So if you're a newer agent, get out there, get it done, have fun doing it. This is the greatest business in the world. And I will see you next time for Smells Like Happy with Handsome